Welcome back to the show, everybody. Well, our guest today is known as the PR lady on TikTok. She helps pull the curtain back on the biggest stories making headlines and dissects them through a public relations lens. Molly McPherson is a reputation and crisis strategist. She's huge on TikTok, where she gets millions of views. She uses her knowledge to read between the lines, breaking down celebrity scandals, celebrity meltdowns, and corporate disasters. I love this conversation. Audience, give it up for Molly McPherson, everybody. Welcome back, love.
Hi, good to see you.
Good to see you. How you doing?
I'm great.
You doing well?
I'm doing very well.
Don't worry, Molly's not here because we're in a crisis. Don't worry
No,
about it.
you're
Yeah, right? Okay, let's start. There's just, for people that don't know, this is the first time you've been on this season since we went across the country. How did you start in this? I mean, how did you begin doing this? Because now everybody's coming to you when they're up Blank Creek without a paddle.
Exactly, but first, congratulations
Thank
on
you, love.
your
I
expanse
appreciate
and
that.
reach.
We're very
wow,
happy.
Okay. So, I mean, essentially, I've been doing this my whole life. You know, I've worked in the media my entire life. I've worked in this media market, as a matter of fact. And I've always followed the trend stories, but I love the personal element, which is when it gets messy, that's when it gets interesting.
Yeah.
So the fact that I've created an income and a job around it has been fabulous.
Your job is basically to tell people what to look for, right? I mean, part of it, like, are we looking for the puppeteer and where the strings are? Can you I get what that means, but explain what you mean by that.
So what I've learned through TikTok, especially, is that people love learning about what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
People love to know personal drama, the messes, and they're starting to get a little more scrutinizing about what they see online and the stories and the narratives. We've kind of busted through that. So I like doing that as well, and that's usually the take that I give.
No matter the PR crisis, no matter the celebrity, no matter the level of celebrity or even a business, what's the first mistake that anybody can make when they, at day one, forget day one, the news cycles move so fast.
Right.
Let's talk hour one. What's the biggest mistake someone can make?
They let their ego take over and they deflect, or they don't think it's a big deal, or they think they can outrun it. They think they're smarter than the public.
They lead with their ego?
They lead with their ego and they want to deny, they want to deflect, or they throw legal at it. They might throw lawsuits at it, but they don't want to admit any fault whatsoever, and then they keep digging their heels in, and that's when it gets worse.
What do you think? Because I always use, I won't say the star, but there was a star that was in a crisis, and you'll hear me reference this a lot. She basically did her apology video in what looked like an abandoned Office Depot, and I just thought, and she went on and on and on and on and
Jason,
on.
You can't just leave it like that.
Fine, Paula Deen. Anyway, it was like, yeah.
She's an example. You know, we don't have a lot of restaurants out there. You can still walk by, and, you know, she has some work, but that's a classic example. And it ruined her reputation. I mean, she was huge.
Yeah.
And then, usually, too, now, the video apology, no mas.
Why?
Because
I brought her up for this reason, because I brought her up as an example, all kidding aside, as an apology that I thought, having seen a lot of celebrity apologies, she just went on too long, which gave people opportunities to get mad at her for new reasons.
Because that's what people do, is they let the ego and the deflection, they don't want to admit anything. So when these video apologies kind of happen, they go on and on and on, and then they start explaining a little, over-explaining, then they blame someone else, and then public sentiment gets involved, and then it's a mess.
So you say, if you were advising, again, we're talking in broad generalities, you would say don't do a video apology?
Yeah, not if, when, because I get hired all the time for these.
Yeah.
I tell them not to do that, because also if you do a video apology on the same network where all the hate is coming, you're really not fighting against opponents, you're fighting the algorithm. So it sends more negativity your way. So it's also about hacking the algorithm as well.
So what should they do? If they shouldn't do a Paula Deen Office Depot apology video, what should they do, broadly speaking?
Am I in the books now? Do we start the fee for the...
You're on the fee. Jeff will get you the credit card for the...
Exactly. No, what I typically tell people to do is take it offline someplace else. So if it's a TikTok crisis, let's go to your website, let's go to Instagram, let's go to podcasts, let's set up an interview. Like I've set up media interviews where you could casually just drop it in. So it officially counts on the record. Sometimes you just want to get on the record somewhere, but you don't want it to be on the same feed where all the hell's breaking loose.
Okay, let me ask you this. Because I'm thinking of people at home, and they're not in a big I'm really picking on Paula, but anyway, there's a lot of celebrities in a crisis.
Right.
They're not in a big crisis. Let me ask you a broad question about what someone at home watching might be facing. Let's say they own a restaurant, a small restaurant.
Yeah, okay.
And there is a customer has gone on Facebook and is ripping them. And
Yes.
I mean ripping them, and it's a public comment. Should they respond publicly? Should they DM? Should they put a reply? What should they do in a situation like that?
Okay, I'm ripping this out of my playbook. This is what I usually tell people to do. First, you have to look who it's coming from. Are they nutty?
Yeah.
Or do they have a point? If they have a point, then you usually have to say something. If they're just out in left field, most people, reasonable people, know a left field, just someone ranting because they have other issues. But if there's nothing there, just let it go. Or you might do an indirect post so people can kind of read between the lines, they know what you're talking about, but you're not going to engage in the crazy. You're going to let it go.
Don't engage with the crazy.
Yep, because you're engaging with the algorithm, because it's all about the algorithm, which I know isn't that fun, but it's true.
It is.
It's the algorithm.
So
know?
just let crazy lie.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Let crazy go. Exactly.
You should sell that on your website. Just
Yes.
let crazy lie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
We have about a minute left. Can you explain the difference between backlash and blowback? And I want to continue this on their site because I want to talk about a specific example. Cracker Barrel.
Yes. So I mean, that was a huge press story. I mean, I got requests to speak on every single network out there. Backlash, it's really about strategic versus values. Sometimes, the backlash is just happening online. But the blowback, it's when it's genuine. Like Cracker Barrel, they made a mistake with that rollout. And the blowback that they got was typical, and it should have happened, but backlash is kind of that viral, messy, and sometimes you really have to look at it and see, do we need to respond or not?
Okay, we're gonna more with Molly when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. Stay with us. You think Cracker Barrel was right to reverse course? Welcome back, everybody. We're here with my buddy Molly McPherson. Busy as all get out. Okay, I'm going to tick through some hot topics this year, and you just give me the first thing that comes to your mind, okay? Keith and Nicole, the divorce.
Recent, but typical.
Yeah.
I know some people want to make a thing about it, but you're married 19, 20 years. He's on the road. She's acting. It's, I think it's kind of typical. Like, I think Keith is just...
Nicole's calling it a pedestrian divorce.
Yes.
Which I don't know what that means,
Did she
Nick.
say
but
that?
Yeah, she said
because
she's calling it.
I said that too.
Did you?
On
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh maybe.
Maybe it was me. Let's just go with Nicole and I both said it.
My
car.
car. No.
Yeah.
You know what it is, dear friend? It was written. She says it was a pedestrian divorce, meaning
Wrong
you.
she. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Wrong she.
Well, Nicole, Molly.
I thought Beatrice had. I thought Bjorn had called Nicole Kidman and got that from her. Yeah. Anyway.
Yes. I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just a little seasoned for this, but it's understandable. I mean, he's a rock star. I mean, or not a rock star, a country star. He's trying to perform. He's an artist. They have to hustle because that's the only way they make money. She's acting. They have to come to the U.S. They have two, teen girls. It's pedestrian.
Taylor and Travis, are they too public? I mean, their image-wise, what do you think?
Not pedestrian. I mean, they are at the top of the list right now. And my goodness, with her big special event coming out and film, like $46 million globally for that release, how they've planned everything, the early podcast release to the engagement to all of it, everything she does is just spotless.
Okay, next. Oh, this is get ready.
Yes.
Hold on to your keys for this one. This is a big one. Blake Lively. Does she, let me just ask broadly, does she, whether people agree with her or not, does she ever recover fully?
Honestly, the only way she recovers is if Taylor Swift comes out and say, we atone, it's fine, we're good. Other than that, I don't think she'll ever fully recover. I think her husband is not doing her any favors, and she's now, back at home posting on Instagram cakes that she's making for her kids. She's trying to soften her image right now. But this whole legal
with Justin Baldoni
was a mistake, and I think it was driven by Ryan Reynolds and not her. I think she's been run over, and it's happened from inside the house, literally. I think
the call is coming from inside the house.
Yep.
Yeah. I want to skip Gwyneth, control room. Let's go to Disney's statement about Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, well, that is a classic backtrack. And really, what happened when we talk about backlash, and it's really like a value statement, people weren't making it political. Pulling Jimmy Kimmel off the air, they're saying, no, this is not political at all. This is about First Amendment. We shouldn't be taking down television shows. And the Walt Disney Company, owner of ABC, they flipped.
Yeah.
Which it just shows that boycotts, Hulu, over 400 artists and actors, celebrities came out, signed a letter. It shows that money and the public, if they stand and mobilize together, they can make change.
I'm going to skip to one more control room. Yeah. Katy Perry. I'm skipping to the Blue Origin space trip.
Oh, we're going back
Molly,
in time.
I know we're going because think of it, Molly, and specifically Katy Perry, because this trip did nothing to help other than Gayle King, who just got off scot.
But did it help?
But it didn't help Gayle.
Yeah.
But overall, what do you think?
It was awful on so many levels. It was so cringe between Katy Perry releasing her album, from in space. It really wasn't great for Gayle King also. And it was like a Lauren Sanchez vanity product, around her husband. It was a mess, and they were rightfully shamed for it, I think, yes.
Yeah, I at first I was like, oh, this is, yeah. At first, I thought, oh, it's nice, because I grew up in the 80s, so I like this space program. But then I thought, oh, this is weird.
But is it the space program? And also, what happened right after that? We found out that Katy Perry or Orlando Bloom, that they were splitting. They have a daughter. So there's a lot. She talked about her daughter a lot with the flight, but not him. So maybe it was kind of that deflection, knowing the news that was coming.
I shall go to space to deflect from my failing marriage. That's right. Exactly. Give it up for Molly, everybody. Be sure to follow her on social media and listen to her podcast. Visit her website, mollymcpherson.com. We'll be right back. Back in a moment, everybody.
Great. Thanks so much.
Thank you, my friend. Thank
Great
you.
seeing you again.
When do you fly out?
I'm speaking down into